All right, so today we're going deep, really deep into something I think everyone listening has thought about at some point, losing loved ones. And get this, we're going to be looking at it through this book, The Spirits book. It's by Allan Kardec. You could kind of think of him like a 19th century Sherlock Holmes, but for the spiritual world.
Yeah.
He was all about figuring out what happens after we die.
Yeah, and he did it by, having all these conversations with spirits. Well, not him directly, but through mediums. He was super organized, documented everything meticulously, and all of that became the Spirits book, which is, well, kind of a big deal in Spiritism.
Right. And it's not like he just blindly believed everything they said. He, grilled them.
Yeah.
Challenged their answers and really got into their whole perspective on things. It's almost like reading, I don't know, a detective's report on life after death.
I like that. It's a great analogy. He really digs into the questions we all have about, what happens when we die? You know, the grief, the loss, where do our loved ones go? What are they doing? All that stuff.
And today we're focusing on one specific part 4, chapter 1. It's called Earthly Joys and Sorrows. But we're zeroing in on questions 934 through 936. That's where Kardec gets into the tough stuff, how to deal with losing someone you love.
Yeah, right off the bat, he asks this question. I bet a lot of people listening have thought about this too. He asks, doesn't the loss of loved ones, doesn't that cause us suffering? You know, because it's this huge thing we can't control, can't fix.
Man, that just gets right to the core of it, doesn't it? It's that feeling of, I don't know, helplessness, like it's the end, you know?
Yeah, and the spirits, they get it. They acknowledge the pain. They even call it a trial, something we all got to go through. But here's where things get interesting. They offer a whole new way of looking at it.
Okay, yeah, tell me. This is what I love about this book. Always something unexpected. What do they say?
Well, they say that even though someone dies, the love you have, it doesn't just disappear. It's bigger than that. It goes beyond death. And get this, they say we can actually find comfort by communicating with our loved ones who've passed on.
Wow. Okay, who hasn't wished they could talk to someone they've lost, just to know they're okay?
It's right. And they don't just say it in some vague way either. They say that the spirits who love us, they're actually happy to communicate, to be remembered, even to give us advice from the other side.
But hold on, wouldn't some people find that, I don't know, a little creepy, even sacrilegious? I know I grew up with certain beliefs about the afterlife, and this kind of throws a wrench in all that.
Oh yeah, Kardec totally gets that. In fact, he goes ahead and asks the spirit straight up about those people who think talking to the dead is a big no-no, sacrilegious.
So what do they say to that?
They're pretty clear. They say, look, it's not sacrilegious if you do it with respect. It's all about intention. If you come at it from a place of love and wanting to connect, it's fine. But if it's just some kind of frivolous thing, then no.
So it's not about holding seances or using a Ouija board. It's more about this deep, genuine connection.
Right. Exactly. They actually warn against just messing around with this stuff. They say you got to approach it with a real desire to understand and connect.
Makes you think, what if we could look at grief differently? Not as the end of everything, but like a bridge to staying connected.
Right. Now, Kardec doesn't stop there. He asks this next question, and it really, honestly, made me stop and think.
Okay, I bet this is where it gets really deep. Lay it on me. What's the question?
He asks, how does the sorrow, the really intense sorrow that people feel when someone dies, how does that affect the spirits?
Whoa, okay. He's saying that our grief can actually, reach them in the spirit world.
Yeah, and what the spirits say is pretty mind-blowing. They say that they can feel our grief and they remember us, but if we're constantly super sad, it actually, hurts them.
Wait, really? Why would our sadness be bad for them? I don't get it.
They say it shows that we're not trusting in God's plan. And all that sadness is like an anchor. It can hold them back from moving forward in the spirit world.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're good. We're in a better place. Please don't hold us back with your sadness.
Exactly. And they even use this analogy. Imagine two people in prison. One gets released. Would it be right for the one still inside to be sad that their friend is free?
Wow. Okay, that's a really good way to put it. It's like, yeah, we're sad they're gone, but they're not gone. They're just somewhere else, hopefully better.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about how we grieve, doesn't it?
For sure. And it makes you wonder, is there a right way to grieve? A way that honors our loved ones without, holding them back?
Man, that's a great question. And I am totally ready to see what else Kardec digs up as we keep going. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more from the Spirits book.
Welcome back. We're still diving deep into the Spirits book and what it has to say about dealing with the loss of loved ones.
You know that last part where we were talking about how our grief can actually affect those who've passed on? I gotta say, that really got to me.
Yeah, it definitely flips the script on how we usually think about death, doesn't it?
Big time. It made me wonder, like, if holding on to all that sadness is bad for them, what's the right way to grieve? How can we honor our loved ones, but not hold them back at the same time?
Well, good news. Kardec tackles that very question in this next part. He doesn't actually ask the spirits a specific question this time, but he kind of reflects on what they've said so far and points out that Spiritism itself, like the whole philosophy, offers comfort and can actually help us lessen our sorrow.
Got it. So it's less about specific questions here and more about the overall message, right? Like how Spiritism helps us cope with loss.
Exactly. Kardec says that just knowing that our loved ones are still out there, that they haven't just vanished, and that we can even communicate with them, those things bring comfort.
Yeah, I can see that. Just knowing they're not gone forever, that they're still living in some form, that's got to be a huge weight off your shoulders.
Right. And it's not just that they're existing, it's that they can actually keep growing and evolving in the spirit world. Kardec says that's what makes death a transition, not the end.
I can see how that shift in perspective could really help someone who's grieving.
Absolutely. And there's one more thing, the hope that we can actually reunite with our loved ones in the spirit world one day. It's like our time here on Earth is just one part of this bigger story, and our connections don't end just because someone dies.
It's beautiful, really.
Yeah.
Even though we're apart now, our paths will cross again someday.
To explain this idea, Kardec uses a really great analogy. He compares death to a friend who moves far away.
I love a good analogy. Sometimes these spiritual concepts can get so complicated, it really helps to have something familiar to relate to. So what's he talking about with this friend moving away?
Okay, so think about it. When a close friend moves, it's sad, right? But you understand that it's probably a good thing for them.
Totally. They're going to have new experiences, new opportunities, even though you miss them like crazy.
Exactly. And the important thing is, you can still stay in touch. Maybe you write letters, call, or visit each other sometimes. Just because you're not in the same place doesn't mean the friendship is over.
So he's saying we should think of death that way.
You got it. Kardec says our loved ones have moved on, yeah. But it's for their spiritual growth and the love and the connection we have that doesn't go away.
It's like they're on this amazing adventure and we get to be here cheering them on, knowing that we'll meet up again later and share stories about everything we've been through, both here and in the spirit world.
That's a great way to look at it. And it reminds us to be okay with change. Our loved ones are on their own journey, and we have to trust that it's taking them where they need to go, even if we don't understand it all right now.
Sometimes you just have to trust, even when it's hard, right?
And that's where faith comes in. It's something that pops up again and again in the Spirit's book, which makes sense because when you're facing uncertainty and loss, faith can be like an anchor.
Yeah, like a guiding star, helping you find your way when things are dark.
For Kardec and the spirits, faith was all about believing that death isn't the end, it's just a new chapter.
And that belief, according to Kardec, is what gave them comfort and hope. I really love how the Spirit's book combines, like, deep thinking about the universe with practical advice for dealing with life's challenges.
It's one of the reasons it's so captivating. It speaks to your head and your heart at the same time.
It definitely makes you see death in a new light. Not as something scary or the end, but like just another step in this journey we're all on.
Right, a journey we're all going to take eventually.
So what else does the Spirit's book say about this journey? The tough stuff we go through here and the joys that are supposed to be waiting for us in the next life.
That's a great question. And that takes us right to the next passage we're going to explore. But before we jump in, what's stuck with you so far from this section? Anything really stand out?
Knowing that our loved ones aren't just gone, that they're transitioning to another realm, that brings me a lot of peace.
Yeah. And the idea that we'll see them again someday, that's a powerful source of hope, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's like the relationships we build in this life, they're not limited by time or space. They go deeper than that.
And we can't forget about reframing how we think about grief. It's not a sign of weakness, it's natural to feel sad. It's a part of healing.
We got to find that balance, acknowledge the pain, but also hold on to hope and faith.
This whole discussion reminds me of this quote by Rumi, the poet. He said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you."
That's deep. What do you mean? How does that relate to what we're talking about?
Well, it's like going through loss. It's painful, yeah, but it can also be transformative. It's in those moments of deep sorrow that we often learn the most about ourselves and our connections with others. And we see how powerful love really is.
It's like even in the darkest times, there's always a little bit of light, a little bit of hope waiting for us.
And sometimes, those times of loss, that's how we find our way back to the light, back to who we really are.
That's a really powerful message, and I think it's a good one to keep in mind as we keep exploring the Spirit's book.
Definitely. Next time, we'll be looking at how Kardec connects the idea of going through tough times with the whole theme of loss.
Sounds like we're in for some more deep insights into life, death, and the spiritual journey. Stick around. Welcome back, everyone. Hard to believe we're already at the final part of our deep dive into the Spirit's book. This exploration of Allan Kardec's ideas on losing loved ones has been, well, pretty intense.
Yeah, time flies when you're contemplating life and death and the whole spirit world, right?
Totally. In the last part, we were talking about how Spiritism helps us see death as a transition, not an ending. And that analogy with the friend moving away, wow, that really hit home for me.
Me too. It's a great way to understand how we can be separated but still connected, you know?
Exactly. It reminds us that our loved ones are on their own journey, growing and evolving in the spirit world, just like we are here.
Now let's talk about what Kardec says about going through tough times, what he calls tribulations. He seems to connect that idea with the pain of loss, like they're both part of the same, the same bigger picture.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. He's saying that both experiences, even though they're hard, can actually help us learn and grow.
Right. And remember how the Spirit said that holding on to too much sadness can actually make it harder for them to move on in the spirit world? Kardec thinks the same thing applies to us here.
So if we face our challenges, with courage and faith, we're not only helping ourselves, but we might actually be helping our loved ones in the spirit world too.
Exactly. It's like our actions have a ripple effect. They reach beyond our physical lives and touch those we love, even after they've passed on.
That's a pretty amazing thought, isn't it? It's like our lives have this deeper meaning. It's not just about our own happiness. It's about contributing to the well-being of everyone we love, both here and in the spirit world.
It's a beautiful idea, for sure, and it fits right in with that message of hope and resilience that runs through all of the Spirit's book.
It's like Kardec is saying, hey, life is going to throw you curveballs. You're going to lose people you love, but it doesn't have to be the end of the story. Have faith, be strong, trust in something bigger than yourself, and you'll not only make it through, you'll come out stronger and even more connected to those you love.
And that's where real joy and peace come from, both for us and for our loved ones, whether they're here with us or in the spirit world.
It's a whole different way of looking at suffering and loss, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just something to get through. It's like a stepping stone on the path to something bigger, to spiritual growth, and eventually to being reunited with our loved ones in a way we can't even imagine right now.
It's a message that's been comforting people for centuries, and for good reason. It's all about hope and love that lasts forever.
Makes you wonder, what if our loved ones in the spirit world can actually see us grow and change, see how we handle the challenges, feel the love we send their way? Maybe that's the strongest connection of all.
That's a beautiful thought. And it goes right to the heart of what the spirits are telling us. Love is more powerful than death. Our bonds don't disappear. They just change form. Our journey together goes on, even when it looks like we're apart.
Well, as we wrap up this deep dive into the Spirit's book, I'm feeling, a sense of hope, a new appreciation for life, and a real curiosity about what lies beyond this physical world.
And that curiosity is a good thing. The Spirit's book invites us to keep exploring, to keep asking questions, to keep an open mind and an open heart.
I love that. So to everyone listening, if you're intrigued by what we've talked about today, go check out the Spirit's book for yourself. Or explore other spiritual teachings that speak to you. Find your own way to understand these big questions.
You're the one who creates your own journey, and the answers are already inside you.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, keep loving.